the Network Studios. Welcome back to another stream. I'm on a little bit of a tight schedule today. I've been very busy all day. Well, I've been working till about 1 o'clock, and then I've been out the back in my shed this afternoon, and I had some mates sort of kind of over, but they were kind of at next doors, but kind of like in the garden, because like in the garden is very like open. It's not like their garden isn't like their garden's blocked off, but it's not like, to the point where you can't see each other. So like it's really easy to like, it's kind of shared in a way, like slash cut off. So they were kind of in there, and then I was in my shed, and we're just having a little bit of a music blast and stuff like that. So I'm only on for a little bit now. Then I've got to shoot and got to dash out again. Before I'm obviously going to be going out tonight and stuff like that, which is going to be obviously happening a bit later. And yeah, so we're in Grovewood, and I've actually made some progress, and I've actually had a little bit of an idea for what I'm actually gonna do for some progress, for like for some things, for what I'm actually gonna go ahead and do. So where I've got this blank space here, where you just see water, I'm gonna put like oil and like fuel tanks, like big like gas canisters, because they're kind of like out the way. They're kind of like out the way, if you get what I mean. So they're kind of like, they're not really exactly, like you don't just walk past them type thing. They're kind of like behind this fence, they're out of the way, and then the trained people can go to them who need to go to them. Then this side is gonna then open out into the airfield. So what my initial plan is to have a road which comes down here, and it's going to make a little like trucking park, for like trucks to like drop goods off that are then going to get obviously put onto cargo planes. So like trucks can come down this road, then they can like turn off and come like somewhere out here, which will probably be after the tunnel, obviously, because we get the tunnel sorted. And stuff like that. And then, like I say, this way is then just going to open out into the big runway. There's going to be like hangars, obviously, your taxi lanes. We got to have the fire station for the airport, and stuff like that. So if anything goes wrong with a plane, there's trained people to get to the plane quickly, and sort out what obviously needs going on there. And I feel a lot happier because I feel more now. I know that we've got a plan with the whole entire airport, and I feel happy because this map's getting sorted, and I kind of know what I'm doing with it a bit more now, and I can kind of get some stuff built. Because trust me guys, sometimes I come on and stream on a map and maybe I don't really do much on here. Believe me, I don't like doing that. I love it when I have a plan and I can actually get something done when I know what I'm doing. And now I obviously have a bit more of an idea as to what I'm doing. So this right here, what we're inside now, this is where like little airport like luggage vehicles can park. This is where they'll just keep like spare excess vehicles, like I say, like little luggage trucks. I'm gonna do like a little garage unit for them to like put some like just sort of like spare stuff in, I guess you can call it, like what they won't particularly need. We're obviously going to need an airport like patrol tower, where they'll like watch the planes come in and stuff like that. That's all going to obviously be needed to be marked out. But we're definitely getting somewhere with the airport. I definitely feel a lot more pumped that I know what I'm doing with it. And it's definitely looking good. In terms of the railway system, the railway is going to go down into a tunnel, but the tunnel's not going to continue. The tunnel is going to act as if it'd continue, but instead of actually continuing the tunnel, we're going to scrap the tunnel, and then we're just going to build the other end of the tunnel over here, and then make it come back up again. So pretty much we're just going to copy and paste this but at the other side, and make it look as if the train track would go through a tunnel, but to save time of actually making a tunnel, you know, which, to be honest, like, out of all the rail tracks in the map you're going to be able to follow, I don't think not being able to go through one tunnel is going to be a big issue. It's just, it makes it easier, it makes, you know, it makes less work, and it's a lot more better to do it that way, personally, I think. And then you obviously don't have the worry of you know, like, having like loads of track to fill in under the sea, and then wondering like how you're going to make it match up and come up where you can just build the other end and you're all safe and sound. In terms of going this way, in terms of my ideas, if you come back up to the roundabout, which is going to be just up here, if you go straight on at the roundabout from here, this is going to take you to some houses, you know, like, not housing estates, so not like houses with driveways and garages, but, you know, like houses attached, and they've got like the bay windows, and you have like maybe about 8 of them or so, like all next to each other. Then you maybe have like a gap going through into another street with more of them styled houses. That's exactly what you're gonna get going down that way. That's going to take you more into a towny area with like, you know, like just like full of houses. You might get the odd like, you know, like corner shop around that area. If you head this way is going to take you up to the docks. So like next to the airport, I'm going to put like cargo docks and you know, like a ferry port and stuff like that. And then after the ferry port, hi Dylan, you'll then come round onto the seafront where you're going to get fish and chip shops. You're going to get arcades. I'd like to do some form of tower, a kind of like Blackpool. You know, you're going to get the nice beach, you know, you're going to get like a theme park and stuff like that. You know, it's going to kind of come all nice. So this right now is kind of the outskirts of Grovewood, what you're seeing right now. And then that way takes you into Grovewood, but kind of more into the non-seaside area of Grovewood. Now, obviously, you can get to the seaside for this way of Grovewood, because there'll be like other streets going that way as well, which will take you to the seafront. But this is going to be full of like sort of semi-detached houses. Do you know what I mean? Where you get like a row of houses all next to each other, and you obviously have like a little garden at the front, maybe a passageway to get to your back garden. You know, where you've kind of got to park your car on the street, and it should be quite good. Which I'm kind of looking forward to. And then obviously back this way is where we built, and this just takes you high. Dogman, and then this obviously just takes you back out of Grovewood. Obviously, if you follow that road there, you're leaving Grovewood. You're going into the countryside, and you know you're sort of back on. You're back on this little like 2-laned motorway, and now look, you can get back to the main highway. Look. Which is your normal sort of typical 3-laned highway, which just sits up here, and then obviously they take you to other towns and things like that, which is quite good. It's, you know, it's your kind of option. It's kind of your main option out of Grovewood right now. And there's obviously that same train track which goes right to the airport. Which, by the way, I really love this train track. I love this train. This train is like one of the best vehicles, the best sort of like, I guess you can say, vehicles that I built in Minecraft, out of like cars, vans, buses. This is the best thing that I've built. Copied it from a Northern Rail train, which we have over in the UK, which, you know, works out quite good. Sometimes they do have more carriages, some of them only have 2 carriages. It looks nice though. I definitely like I like the look of that train, and it definitely looks realistic in my opinion to what an actual train is, and you can actually get inside of it. Like if I just bust this, you can actually go inside. Now unfortunately you can't get into the cab. Like there is no such thing as a cab, because the black just blocks it. It doesn't actually like physically work as a cab. You could in a way like kind of make it into a cab, but You know, like that's pretty much what you'd be doing, look. So it's like it's really pointless. It's just made to look like a train. It's not made to actually do what you know. You're not meant to actually go inside of it. But that's pretty much you know what it does. It looks very sick. There is another train just up here, but it's nowhere near as good. You can see here, look, that it doesn't really, you know. The sort of look of it doesn't look anywhere near as realistic as what I went for. It looks too sort of cartoony-ish with them colours. But more to the point, this is the town. I love that truck, by the way. That's a really nice truck. The trailer's good on it as well. Yeah, it's good for it. It's good for its you know, it's good for its sort of like vehicles. Is this map? That's one thing I like about this map. It's good for its vehicles. Oh, we got CJ Spicer in. Sick. Oh, now we haven't got CJ Spicer in. So, yeah, guys, another Derek and Noreen show tomorrow. Looking forward, looking pumped for getting one of them out. Like I say, I've got a plan for the episode, which hopefully is going to make it quite funny. And I'm quite looking forward to doing that episode, shooting that episode, getting it up and out on YouTube tomorrow. But I'm kind of not looking forward to it the same way. Now, this is no, like, disrespect to the show or anything like that, but like when we do the show tomorrow, that means that today's going to be over, and I don't want today to be over because I've got an exciting night ahead of me. I'm obviously meeting some mates, and I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm pumped for it. And then plus once today's over, that's kind of it. You've got tomorrow, and then you're back into the week again, which I'm looking forward to in a way, because then it gets closer to next weekend, which we're going to our clubbing year event. But the whole point is the whole point is of the whole entire thing is that do you know what I mean? Is that I like my weekends more than my weeks, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people like their weekends more than the weeks. But the point is that if you wish something to sooner be away, like, 'cause time goes quick, so like in a way, like when you've got something good happening, you don't want to be wishing that it's soon here, because then once it's soon here, it's soon over. Which is the same with that, the big festival I'm going to in July. You can't, I was kind of thinking like, oh, there's 6 months away yet, we've got ages, it's time away. And then they put out a post, I think it was yesterday, and they actually showed us how long until the event was in weeks. And it's 19 weeks until the event. So 19 weeks yesterday. In 19 weeks from yesterday, the festival will be here. Now, when you think of 19 weeks, that really isn't long, because in 2 weeks' time, that means there's only 16 weeks. Or is it like 17 weeks or something like that? You're gonna think like weeks soon go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're already the weekend again now. And the thing is the weeks, like, soon go, like, so quick. Like, when you think of it as months, like, when you say 6 months, you think, oh, that's ages away, that's, like, later on in the year. But then when you think 19 weeks, there's 4 weeks in a month. So, like, by the time, like, next month is over, we're going to be another 4 weeks closer to the event. So if we're at 19 weeks now, by the end of March, we're going to easily be, coming up to sort of like 15 weeks, 14 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it soon goes. And do you know what I mean? Like, but then the sooner it comes, the sooner it's gone. Like, sooner like there, and then sooner saying this time 2 weeks ago, I was at the, we'd be away in, at the event, which is,
Actually,
like I say. No, I haven't yet, and I do have a little announcement to make, guys. So just make sure you stay tuned in the live stream. As a matter of fact, I'll announce it now. So there's something on the channel that hasn't been on the channel for quite a while now. It's been a while. Now, some of it was partially to do with how, with me losing my internet. And this is network radio. So, network radio, we were doing a show on there called The Harrison and the Noble Show. And pretty much what went down is me and Harrison teamed up together to bring you guys a little show. So, we played music. We talked about things that were happening in the world and in the news. You know, it could be anything to do with politics or like race car drivers, something in the sport, maybe like something you know, maybe a new building that's getting built in a city. General stuff that's happened in day-to-day life, or maybe maybe something like a fire or something that's happened in the news, and pretty much like we'll have a discussion about it. You guys could obviously message in, and we set up a Facebook page. We've set up a Skype, so you can actually call the show. You can get involved in the show. You can come on, you can come into the stream. You can kind of, I guess in a way, you could kind of like talk. You can come and like, so say if you're like doing something, for example, like say if you're like, I don't know, a runner or a footballer, and say you've got a big match coming up at the weekend, you can like come onto the radio, you can announce it, you can you can have your say. If if you want to grumble about something that's happened, like maybe maybe you got involved with an idiot driver who wouldn't stop when you were trying to cross the road, or maybe someone was rude to you and ignorant, and you wish that people like that would be more better, something you want to say. You get the point. You come onto the show and you could say it, and we gave you a proper news update. So like I actually read the news from like the real news, so I used the Sky News app, and I actually gave you like proper news. Nothing was made up. And we also put advert breaks in just for fun, and we had a really good laugh. Harrison gave you the proper weather. He also gave you the travel, and it went really well. It was a really good show. We got like a decent amount of views when we went live. And well, pretty much Harrison barely comes on to do the show now, and it's a shame really, because the show has good potential to do quite well on YouTube. It gets quite it gets quite a good amount of views. It does quite well, and it has a lot to offer, and it gives people chance to get involved, and it's quite fun. And the point is, like I say, is Harrison isn't really on that much to be able to do the show. Like, he always says about needing to get one done, and he never comes on to get one done. But if he doesn't do one, I can still sometimes do one on my own. But that's not always the point. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're always going to do it on your own, what's the point in calling it the Harrison and Noble Show? Do you know what I mean? Like, you may as well just do it by yourself. If you're just gonna, keep doing it on your own all the time, you may as well just do it by yourself, haven't you? Rather than calling it the Harrison and Noble Show. So the point is I don't want to sound mean when I say this, but I've kind of found a replacement. For someone who would be willing to possibly fill in a few weeks for me until I can sort something out with Harrison, or if Harrison, isn't really going to show willing that he's going to come back, then possibly a new sort of future sort of permanent replacement. And I think this is going to be quite good. So. Ben, who plays in our Park Drive, he's in our Derek and Noreen show. Do I remember the GTA roleplay? Yeah, I'm actually semi doing a GTA roleplay, but I'm waiting for some people. I'm waiting for some people to come into it, to come and like finish the episode, who had like been in the episode already. Like we got some of it recorded. Is what I'm saying, and I'm kind of like waiting for some new people to come and not new people, but for them to come and finish off the rest of the episode so I can get it out. But the point is Ben is gonna possibly be a part of network radio. He's going to possibly go ahead and do some stuff for us with network radio. So stuff like that. So it's going to be quite good. The only sort of thing is I've got to change around like some of the intros and stuff like that. And I'm thinking about calling it the Noble and Ben Show. I think that's going to be quite good. We'll see where it goes. It's going to work the same. There's going to be nothing different to the show. We're gonna both play music. We're gonna both talk to people. We're going to both talk to people that come into the show or tune into the show and put comments. We're going to have our advert breaks. We're still going to give a news round. Ben will, obviously give the weather and stuff like that. He'll also do the travel, which you can easily get up like through Google and stuff like that. I'll be doing the news, obviously, and we'll be talking to people. We'll be getting people on the show. Well, kid, you're CJ Kid. We'll be doing quite well. We're going to give it a go, and we're going to see exactly where. we're going to see. We're going to see how it goes, really. Because I know Harrison, did do a good job at network radio. That's one thing that I have got to say about Harrison, is that he did do a good job, like doing the weather, doing the travel. He was really good. House things. He did do a good job. He brought a lot of views to the show as well as me. Which is quite good, and stuff like that. And we're obviously looking forward to giving it a try again. So that's what's going to go down. In terms of other network radio shows, I'm not going to do any more network radio shows. Now, I was going to do quite a few at first, but copyrights and stuff like that just get in the way too much. Like, you can't really do much to a show without kind of making it the same because of YouTube. Like, say for example, like you want to do a house music show, or you want to do like a hard dance show. Like, it's kind of hard to do it without choosing a song that's copyrighted. So then you kind of think, well, just play non-copyrighted house music. But then you're kind of doing that in the Harrison and Noble show anyway. So you may as well just do the Harrison and Noble show. So that's something that's going to obviously come back. And then we're still going to work on our Derek and Noreen shows, and obviously Park Drive. Got some pretty good plans for Park Drive. And we've got some stuff happening. So all I can really say is stay tuned on the channel, because I'm trying to bring new stuff to it. But the thing with my channel is my channel involves other people, like in the series what I do, because I do a lot of like role playing and stuff like that, and it involves like people who are a part of it, like to come and make on, and like obviously if people don't turn up, I can't get episodes out. Whereas take a look at Z1 and Only Gaming, for example, who does like Let's Builds. He doesn't need anybody like in his videos to get his episodes out, because he just like does, say Let's Build a City. So he just puts up an episode and builds the next house. He doesn't have to wait for someone to come on to play the next part. Do you know what I mean? Because he just primarily does it on his own. But if you get what I mean, it's, like, whereas for me, who does role plays, I obviously need people in the role plays because it makes the role plays more interesting. So, like, sometimes I've got to wait for the people to be online so I can get them done, if that makes sense, because I need to obviously try and get them done in the best way that I obviously can. Can you do another city tour? Yeah, I can. I'll need to find someone's city though. Like, I don't want to just tour a friend's city. No offences to friends' cities, but like, I've streamed on friends' city maps before. Like, people like who join like my maps and stuff, like, their building skills. Do you know what I mean? So like, whereas someone who I don't really know, like, say like I find someone's city like, like in a community or something, if you get what I mean. Or like, do you know what I mean? Or like someone like sends me like you, like Do you know what I mean? Like, you asking me now, that makes it a bit more better, in my opinion, doing it that way. So that's what we're obviously clearly going to do. I'm just going to check Instagram a sec, guys. I've really gotten into Instagram lately. So, yeah, no one's live at the moment. I will be doing PD Sunday, mate, as I come back, as most of my test papers are done at school. I can start doing PD again, mate, for a while. Well, to be honest, CJ, I'm not, I'm going to be completely truthful with you. Like, because obviously, I'm a truthful person, CJ. No disrespect to you or anything, but me and Ant and everybody, we're kind of talking about about kicking you out from PD because you weren't coming on for episodes. But if you are if you are going to be able to make it more, obviously I understand if you've had to do test papers and that. Like, if you want to come back and if you want to do part drive a bit more again, that's fine by me. And I'm being truthful with you. There was, we were talking about you not coming back because I didn't think you wanted to do it. I thought that you were, I thought you were bored of it. So I didn't, so I was in a way, I was gonna say, like, that's it. But if you want to do part drive, I will obviously let you do part drive because you are good in part drive. And to be honest, like, I do need the police officer, if I'm completely honest with you. But the point is, it's just that when I'm trying to run a show like that, I've still got to get episodes out. And sometimes, like, when people can't make an episode, it can kind of snooker me a bit. So sometimes, like, especially if someone's missed like a couple of episodes, like, maybe 3 episodes or so, it can kind of just pee me off a bit. Because, like, sometimes it ruins plans for episodes. Sometimes it can spoil an episode from even being able to be released. And you know what I mean? Like, so, like, if you can make PD a bit more again, I'm happy to have you back. But all I'm saying is now is people who mess me about, will just get kicked out of the show, pretty much, because I can't be, but I'm not gonna. I've been nice to people in part drive for too long. The thing with me is I know, like, they obviously don't have to do PD, but I've always been so, like, if people have said, like, can you do the episode a bit earlier, or can you start the episode a bit later to, so I can get back in time to be on for it, or people, I've always, like, say, like, a person who has to go off, I've always kind of, like, done their scenes first so they can get off, which, is kind of nice of me. But sometimes some of them people haven't repaid me in a very nice way. They've kind of been a bit, like, taking it for granted. Like, I've done their scenes earlier, I've started episodes earlier for them so they can be in it. I've started episodes later so they can be in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you get what I mean? And yeah, I'm kind of like, now I'm being like, people have a choice. They know when the episode times are. If they can't make it, let me know. And if they go through a period of not making part drive episodes, then they'll just be out the show. Which I don't mean to sound harsh, but at the point now, it's not about being nice, friendly and dandy. Obviously I'm not going to be horrible to you and say, like, do this scene now, bitch, but like, I do need to get these out. And to the point now, I just want to get them out. I don't want to mess about waiting for people, who can't do it, can't do it till 8:30, or can't do it till 9, or have to start it at 7. They are, they are the only people who maybe have somewhere they need to be, or something they have to do, or something they could rather be doing. It wasn't my fault. I had to focus on my test papers. I need a good job. I can just sit on my ass every night. I have to study. Yeah, obviously. I understand that, CJ. And I'm not just specifically talking about you. Like, I'm talking about people like Liam, Ryan, Harrison. Obviously, like, I know you've tried to make episodes when you can. Like, I'm more talking about Pacific people, like, because there is some like good people in Park Drive, like, let's say like Ben, let's say like Martin, let's say like Ant, and they, like, if they'll always tell me if they're busy and they can't do it, or like say like Martin, especially Martin, like if Martin says he's got like after school clubs or something for quite a while, he tells me in advance. He doesn't kind of just like not make episodes. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he can't make an episode, or he's not well, or he's not able to do it, like, he will tell me. Do you know what I mean? Whereas some people like Harrison will come on and they'll be like, yeah, I want to do this and want to do that, and then they just won't show their faces. Like, that's the same with Ryan, and like, especially Ryan. Like, the thing what pees me off about him is the storyline with his character, because his character was kind of on the run. He'd been on the run. From like committing some crimes, and he told me that he wanted to come back to the Park Drive drama series. So I especially found a way and like changed the storyline to get him off the hook, so he could live around Park Drive again. And then I made him apply for a job, and I put him in like storylines to give him a new job, to start making him have a life around Park Drive again. And then he just hasn't turned up for loads of episodes again. And that's the thing what kind of annoys me, because I especially like made it so he could get off the hook, so he could come back to Park Drive again. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like I could have just said, no, your time at Park Drive's done. You're on the run type thing. That's it now. Like, you've got to run forever, or you come back and you go to prison. But no, I made him a way to kind of get off the hook, if you get what I mean. And that's and then he obviously just didn't come on for ages. That's kind of the thing what annoyed me about Ryan. And then it was kind of the same with Liam as well. Like, Liam told me at first that he didn't want to do Park Drive anymore, and then I was kind of like, yeah, that's fine, that's it then. And then I posted stuff online about the actor quitting his job, and then he kind of like, no, don't do that, because I might still be coming back yet. And I waited for him to come back. Then he came back for like one episode, and then I was going to do a big storyline with him, which was going to kind of finish him out of Park Drive. I had I had it all planned. I had it all like perfectly worked out, what he was going to do. Like how it was going to happen, how it was going to kind of like end him, and and everything. He came back, and I was willing to do it, and then his headset broke, so I was kind of very generous, and I was like, oh, fair enough, your headset's broke, I'll wait till you get like I'll wait for him to get a headset back, and then he just never came back on. So then I asked Ant the other day, and then it turns out he deleted his Minecraft. So it's kind of like, well, do you want to do it or don't you want to do it? Like, that's just pure taking the mick and messing me about. Like, if he'd have just stuck to the fact that he didn't want to do it in the first place, like I wouldn't have I wouldn't have obviously like put him in that episode again and then arranged for him like to come back. Do you know what I mean? But that's just the way it goes. unfortunately. CJ, it's completely up to you. If you want to do part drive, you can come back. All I'm saying is if you want to do part drive, like, and you really want to do part drive, just sort of like if there's reasons why you can't make episodes, just please, try and let me know a bit more. Like, if you want to do part drive, then you have got to be more sort of like devoted to do it with, because the thing is I was hearing from you that you wanted to do part drive, and then I was hearing from other people that you didn't want to do part drive. You were finding it boring, you didn't like it, it was crap. So like, all I'm saying is if you want to do it and you're devoted to do it, and you're gonna put the time and effort in, like obviously now, like you say, your test papers, obviously, you've got a few, you've got a while to do it again. So like, if you actually want to come on and do it, you know it's fine by me for you to come on and do it. I've got no problem with you doing part drive. Like I say, we do need a copper, we do need a police officer. So like, what I'm saying is it's completely up to you. If you want to do part drive, I'm happy for you to do it. But I just like, if you can't make an episode, I'd just rather you like drop me a message and say, look, I won't be able to make it tonight. Because then it just gives me a little more. Because say like you come in on Tuesday's episode and you do something, and then I think like, right, you can then do this on Thursday. Then you just don't turn up. Like, it kind of makes it hard for me. Whereas if like Thursday, say you couldn't make it and you just dropped me a message and said, look, I'm not going to be able to get on tonight, it gives me that sort of space of time to kind of come up with something different to plan for the episode. And it doesn't pee me off as much, because I know like now that I've got a good maybe hour to 2 hours to plan something different. Do you know what I mean? Or even like, if like a day or so before that you're not going to be able to make it, it just gives me that time to, do you know what I mean, to know what's happening. So yeah, that's the way it goes. So if you want to do it, go ahead, bro, come back to us. But if not, then like I say, it's up to you. Just let me know what you want to do. So there you go, Martin. I'm still here, guys. I'm just... Pasada. That is a tune, actually. That is a tune right there. but I don't know, like, no. Oh wow, now it's come up with some foreign food. Just a sec, guys. Yeah, it's Paz I idle da. So it's like Paz I de la. But no, it won't. Right, so wait. So actually, it's PAS. Oh wait, it's PAS PASILD. So PASILD. Ah, there we are. I've got it. I think. Yeah. I knew I'd find it. I always find the tune if I want it. Even if it takes me like 6 years. Which, believe me guys, one song that I was trying to find did take that long. Saying that, I know a few ways I could have found this song. I just forgot about it, to be honest. It's a big Ibiza track, like over in Ibiza. Over in Ibiza. Oh, I love Ibiza. One place I could go in the world right now. Like, if someone said, right, you know, you can go anywhere in the world right now. Where would you want to go? Like, you've got this choice tonight to fly out somewhere for so many days. Like, where do you want to go? Like, this could be anywhere in the world. This could be like Africa, this could be Spain, could be France, like, China, could be anywhere in the world. I'd say Ibiza without thinking. Because, you see, the thing is, like, there is, like, other places I wouldn't mind going. Like, I wouldn't mind going to Miami and stuff like that. But when people say, but, like, the chance to go to Ibiza, like, because obviously if I was getting asked, like, to go anywhere, like, that's my chance to go there. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's somewhere I want to go, but I might not get the chance to go for a while. Like, I don't think my mum's ever been, and she's always wanted to go. So if I got offered like the chance to go somewhere, that's obviously somewhere I'd choose, like, without thinking, because then you've gone. If you get offered to go abroad again, then you can just say somewhere like Spain, can't you? Do you know what I mean? And then it doesn't really matter as much because you've been to the main place where you've wanted to go. But I'd love to go to Ibiza. Ibiza is just like literally nightclubs across the road from nightclubs. Like, in a way, like, I wouldn't want to live there. Well, I'll put that as a fact, I would. But I can imagine people who live there would get a little bit sick of it sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, it's kind of a holiday place. That's kind of the way I see it. Like, so, like, I guess in a way, like, living there would kind of be like, I guess, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I kind of guess living there, the people who live there would or maybe, like, get annoyed with, like, tourists coming in and, like, drinking and going in the clubs all the time. And do you know what I mean? Like, I guess, like, people who live around it, like, for years would eventually get bored of it. Do you know what I mean? And I guess it's kind of like the same with, like, the Isle of Man TT. Like, when you think of it that way, like, people love going out there to watch the bikes and look forward to it. It's like the biggest race season there, like, every year, obviously. But then you got to think about the amount of people who would like get sick of it, who live there, like when the road gets closed every day outside their house for bikes coming by, when they're like trying to watch telly at night or trying to sleep, and there's like people in traffic and tourists and people like staggering in from pubs who have like come on holiday, and you know what I mean? And you'll actually find that a lot of people who live in the Isle of Man actually come across to the UK when we go across there for the racing season. They'll like book a week away at the seaside or something, or they'll like maybe stay in the Isle of Man for the practice week. But then when it's the race week, they'll actually book a holiday somewhere else, because obviously the island gets a lot busier when it's the race week, and you get a lot more of the tourists, and like it gets a lot busier. So you'll find that a lot of people actually do go on holiday, like just to the seaside for like a week or so while the racing's on, and then they come back when it's obviously quieting down. Which I don't blame them in a way. Like, I guess in a way, if I lived over there, I'd want to do the same thing. Because imagine if you lived on like a part of the course, and like every day your road's getting shut, like, and then like till like sort of 9 or so at night, because they practice at night, to the Manx and stuff. You've got like bikes whizzing past your house. Like, I suppose like it'd be alright at times to say like, oh yeah, I can just watch it from my house. But then I guess when like people who have had years of it, like I guess after a while they'd kind of get bored. And then like people who are obviously like taking up their shops and going in their pubs, maybe like if you go into a local, it's maybe like filled with tourists, and then you can't get sat where you usually want to sit. Do you know what I mean? And then like you have like idiots what maybe park somewhere, and it maybe like blocks you a bit, and then you don't know whose car it is, and you can't go and speak to them because you don't know who it is. So like I guess in a way like you've kind of got a feel for them. Like in a way you've kind of got a feel. Like, like you must feel how it is. Like, imagine if I lived in this town. Well, imagine in the town I lived, if like people came in like every year, like for something, say, that happened in our town, like say a festival event or something, or you know what I mean, and they all started like parking and blocking our parking spaces and filling up our pubs, and walking past our house at night shouting like every year, like for 2 weeks or whatever. Like, it would get annoying, and you'd obviously, I guess, like eventually want to go away and say like, forget that type thing. Anyway, guys, I am going to leave the live stream here. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.